How's it going, everybody? Football Rob here, breaking down the Minnesota Timberwolves game that they went on the road. They were at the Barclays Center tonight, and they fell to the Nets, 119-110. Minnesota drops to 1-5 on the season. It's been a lot of coulda, woulda, shouldas for the T-Wolves for the past 6 games to start the season. This was just my second time watching them since I've relocated here, and there's a lot of things that I noticed, both good and bad, before I even get into the actual game that just took place. Well, Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, this guy is a man beast. I haven't really been following his career since he left for the NBA draft, but I have to say that he's evolved by leaps and bounds since leaving college. I think John Calipari didn't quite utilize this guy. Either Karl Anthony Towns just developed these skills in the last couple of seasons, or John Calipari just didn't utilize this guy to the best of his ability. I see him using floaters. I see him shooting hook shots in the lane with either hand. I see defensive plays. I see him hitting threes now. There's like nothing this guy can't do with a basketball. And, I see a lot of great development from Andrew Wiggins as well. Last time I saw him in college, he didn't seem very confident with his jump shot, but now it looks smooth. He seems more at ease on the perimeter. We already knew he was a great defender. He could defend many different positions, but now he can shoot threes. He went 6 of 7 from downtown tonight, scored a career-high 36 points in 40 minutes of action, and the future is very bright for him. And Zach LaVine, I would say this, I really never watched him play much, even when he was at UCLA. I just know him as a dunker, but when I watch him compete, it seems like his athleticism translates into more aspects of the game than just dunking. He's very quick off the dribble. He's very explosive ball handler, great defender, very very good instincts. He knows how to use his athleticism. He gets the most out of his athletic skills. He's a treat to watch, and he's definitely more than just a dunker. So those are the good things, but the bad things, they just don't have any depth right now. When those players are off the court, they just don't have enough firepower at other areas to carry the way, and that's why they're losing all these games. So, in the first quarter it was 33-33. Kind of even. In the second quarter, it was 66-65. Brooklyn had a 1-point lead going into halftime. And the thing that was really bothering me about the Wolves is that in the third quarter, it seemed like they were falling apart in the previous games, and they didn't really fall apart in this third quarter, because in the previous games up to this point, it was a 9.6 point differential that Minnesota was losing third quarters by nearly 10 points a game, and they didn't do that this time, so that's an improvement. But they still make a lot of mistakes defensively. The Nets coming into this game they were only a 30% three-point shooting team, and they just went wild from downtown against the Timberwolves, because they're so young. They play with a lot of heart, a lot of energy, but their defensive rotations, they don't close out on open shooters, and it cost them in this game. Not only that, but then Karl Anthony Towns, he was in foul trouble for most of the second half. He caught 2 offensive fouls in the third quarter, and his minutes had to be limited. He played 32 minutes, but being that he's basically all they have on the front line, talent-wise, he needs to really, watch how he has to judiciously use those fouls. He can't get into foul trouble, because then this Timberwolves team, they'll be up the creek without a paddle, you know, and they don't have the depth to make up for that. So, anyways, the Timberwolves actually took the lead in the fourth quarter. Thanks to Andrew Wiggins, it was about the 5:53 mark. Andrew Wiggins gave them the lead, but again, because of Towns' foul trouble, it forced Minnesota to go small. They had to play small ball, and Brook Lopez took advantage from there. I did like what Tyus Jones was able to do. He had a career game. From my stat line, I see him. He had 12 points, 7 assists, 5 steals. Gonna just verify that to see if I was correct. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Right, and 5 steals. Right. So okay. So he had a really good game, and he's definitely improving with this nice young talent. Chris Dunn was a complete dud in this game. Only 15 minutes. He did not hit a field goal in the game, and he really made no impact. He's the Timberwolves' first-round pick this year. It was a lottery pick, and he needs to get it going. But all told, I'd say overall they're going in the right direction. They have a lot of great young talent. They have a great coach. I see that they're playing with the intensity that you need to play with in order to win these games. It's just some plays here and there that they just can't capitalize. Easy missed basket here and there. They'll give up a layup, in the paint. There'll be some empty possessions. There won't be enough offensive rebounds. Things like this, or late on a rotation and they give up an easy dunk. So it's like stuff like that they need to clear up, and I think they will. Because they have a great coach. Tom Thibodeau really cares. He's very, very passionate about defense. I remember him getting the most out of those Chicago Bulls teams when Derrick Rose was, missing months and months and months and months. They still kept it together and kept going to the playoffs on a regular basis. So I think the management is good, the coaching is good, the talent is there. It's just the depth not quite up to snuff. And plus they're playing, I know they played an Eastern Conference team, but they're playing in a tougher conference. So it's going to be hard for them to tack on wins as the season rolls along when you're going up against the Golden States and the Spurs and the Oklahoma Cities of the world and teams like that. So I think that this is a good team to monitor. It's going to be a little while, but this is basically, I think they're on the ground floor of building something that's going to be exciting down the road. So tomorrow they take on the Orlando Magic. They travel down to Orlando, and I'll have a game recap for you guys tomorrow on that game, and we'll see if Minnesota could shake this slump that they're in. So that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in. It's Football Rob, signing off.